Hey, everybody. Happy freaking Friday. Welcome to Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live with your bestest hosts, Greg Gifford. Greg hails from Search Lab Digital. His Twitter handle is at Greg Gifford. And I, your host, Ben Fisher, with steady demand on Twitter, not X, at the Social Dude. And if you'd like, join us in the Local Marketing Institute Connect on Facebook, where we have north of 2,505 members. Come in, listen to Greg, listen to I, listen to other people, all your peers, very smart people there. Get your answers to your hardest questions. And finally, if you would like Greg and I in your ear anytime, anywhere, on the go, in the gym, doesn't matter. You can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
Boom.
With that, what's up, Greg? How you doing, sir?
I am excellent. How are you, my friend?
I can't complain. And anyway, if I did want to complain, who's going to want to listen to that? Just saying.
Yeah.
True.
Why waste the energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's see, what do we got? Okay, people are filing in. We will go ahead and do housekeeping stuff here in a second. How are we doing in the chat? All right. Hey, Elena, how you doing? Happy Friday. All right, so let's see who we got in the audience so far. Mark is here. Wow. Yeah, Mark is here. Hey, Mark.
What's up, Mark?
All right. So everybody else looks pretty new. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Okay. So today we are in a little bit of an interesting pickle. Last time we met, we answered all of our questions and we answered all the bonus questions, which means that today we have 2 news items. Beyond that, we got nothing to talk about today. Sorry. So please go ahead and do everybody a favor. Ask your questions in the Q&A. Give us some things to look at. We'll go ahead and we'll do an audit on your website. We could do an audit on your Google business profile. You need something debugged or troubleshot a little bit, throw it in there as well. Feel free. Just don't ask us if the sky is blue. You already know this answer.
Or we can roast your GBP if you want to have a little bit of fun.
Hashtag GBP roast.
And with that, it is time for the news.
All right. So, like I said, we got 2 items today. So the first one is going to be about the appeals delay. As you know, the word appeal is now the new word for reinstatement request. And basically, yeah, the appeals for reinstatements are now taking an ungodly amount of time. As a matter of fact, I just had one come through today. It's only been sitting there for 45 days.
It's so ridiculous. Like, it's shocking that they can get that far delayed. And Google doesn't say, maybe we should reallocate some internal resources and get this knocked out a little bit faster so these legitimate businesses that need to be reinstated don't have to wait a month and a half.
Exactly. And hey, Max. Exactly. And not to mention, it's like, you know what people are doing, right? You know they're going ahead and they're trying to fill out a reinstatement any way they can. And that just basically makes the process even worse.
Yeah, right,
I'm
buddy?
back. Yeah, I am. Just I cleared my throat. Jeez. Don't want to do that for everybody. So anyway, okay. So that is that. And no, there is no time horizon for that being fixed, quote unquote. Next thing is going to be the LSA review link. Thank goodness.
Yeah, right? You'd think this would have happened a long time ago.
To be fair, I knew about this 2 years ago.
Well, right. But for them to actually roll it out, you'd think they would have figured this out a heck of a lot sooner and pushed it out sooner.
Yeah. I think this is when you were We'll see you were silver at the time because I don't think you were there. It was Google HQ in San Jose or something like that. Anyway, the guy who made LSA actually was there, and he was on his way out. And on his way out, he said, "Yeah," he said one other thing, which is still coming, which we can't talk about. And then he said, eventually this would happen. And so, but it was all under NDA, so we couldn't say another thing.
Yeah.
But it just makes sense, right? Get rid of the crap. Why have it in two places? You can't respond to the review anyway. It just sits there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it got gamed, thanks, by all the locksmiths.
Yep. And attorneys.
And garage door companies.
Yeah.
So the usual suspects who poison the GPP ecosystem, basically. So anyway, yeah, that's going away. It's not rolled out for everybody. We just saw it in our MCC. And so it's obviously happening. And that's it, man. That's all we got.
And since we have no pre-submitted questions, which, by the way, everyone, you should go to the site and pre-submit questions, or go to Facebook and pre-submit questions, or tweet us to pre-submit questions. So we have some questions in next time, but we're going to jump right to the live questions today. So it's time to come on down. The whole thing's a minute long. Like, why would anyone ever sit through a minute of the prices?
I know. I don't have an answer for you.
Max, it's not just the lamp. I've got a whole bunch of stuff from Christmas Story over there.
But the lamp is, the lamp's not real, though. It's not the actual size, is it?
No, it's like it's a real lamp. I can turn it on. I don't know if it's...
But it's like a mini lamp.
It's plugged in. But it's a mini version of it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But, I mean, I wouldn't want to have the giant lamp in here. It would take up too much room on my desk. I'm, like, out of room anyway.
I'm just saying that would be kind of neat.
Dude, being the sword guy that you are, have you heard about the new Lord of the Rings stuff they have at Target?
No, but I was looking at Lord of the Rings replicas on Amazon.
So they have a thing. I should have brought. I don't even have it because it was at home because I was working on it. But it comes in it's like the little blind bag thing where you're buying something and you get a toy, but you don't know what toy it is till you open it up. It's a big thing they do with kids. So it comes in this really cool plastic ball about this big, and you open it up, and there's like 18 different weapons from the Lord of the Rings films. And it's like a resin mold, and you literally make you pour the resin into the mold, put it out in the sunlight, and it cures. And then you end up with a little miniature weapon that's like this big. And they've got little display stands. And if you get lucky and you get one, you get the whole stone thing with the cloth and the shards of Narsil. Like, it's pretty awesome. So I got two of them. So I got Eomer's sword with like the horses on the little guard. And then I got an Uruk-hai sword.
And they're like tiny?
Yeah, they're like this big. But it's really, it's kind of just a cool little thing that you get it out and you put it in you drip the stuff in the mold and then put the handle in and then set it outside for an hour and it cures. And then you pull it out and you got a little sword and it's got a cool little display thing you stick it on.
That's a good idea. That's kind of cute for kids.
Yeah. Well, it's not really for kids though, because it's resin, and resin is like, working with resin, it's like toxic fumes. And if you get it on your hands, it can like poison you. So it's actually, the reason I found out about it is catching a lot of flack online because they're marketing it to adults, but it's in the kids' toy section. So a lot of parents are up in arms going, you're selling this and kids are going to buy it and get sick and whatever. So anyway, all right. So
that's cool.
We should probably ask that first question to me since it's about auto dealerships.
Oh, show. Why not? By the way, we're up to 6 questions in the Q&A. Thanks, everybody. We need about 6 more. All right. So just saying, if you want to get your GPP roasted, hashtag GPP roast. All right. This one comes from the infamous anonymous attendee.
Our good old friend.
Yes. We still need the hats and the t-shirt
Yeah, I was gonna make some
The
T-shirts if
hat.
you were coming to local U next month, but since you're not, I don't know
I
if it's
am.
worth making the T-shirt.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But if you make it, then you can have it for the next time that we see each other.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and we could like plan it. I don't know, maybe something like in advance.
Maybe we'll figure something out.
Yeah, and then we'll have to print out a ass hat.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to have the ass hat. All right.
Yep.
Okay. What else are we doing, by the way? So we got the anonymous attendee hat, the ass hat, the anonymous attendee T-shirt, right?
I didn't know we were doing anything besides that.
I mean, I'm just saying. Should we? We should. Just saying. All right. All right. So this one again is from anonymous attendee, and this is for an auto dealership. Is it possible to nest a service department listing under the primary sales profile if the service department is located at a different address, i.e., 5 miles away?
It is not possible.
Mm.
Yeah, we need that. It is only possible to nest auto dealer departments if those departments are at the same location. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same building, because it happens fairly often that the service building will be separate and like behind the main sales building. Works if it's attached, obviously. But yeah, if your service department's 5 miles away, you have to have just a completely separate profile. And good luck with that, because then it becomes super problematic, because you're probably going to name it, if it's Greg Gifford Ford, you would call it Greg Gifford Ford Service Department, which now means when people do a Google search for Greg Gifford Ford, Google's not going to know which thing you're looking for, because you now have two things for Greg Gifford Ford that are 5 miles apart. So you won't get your GBP panel. You're going to get a map pack with those two things, and customers are going to have to choose which one they want. I was literally just helping someone with this on the forum this week. So maybe this is someone coming to ask for a different answer, or asking because I was answering on the forum. I don't know. But yeah, you can't do it, unfortunately. I would also wonder, I get in like New York City that's a little bit more prevalent, but outside of a super crazy metro where there's just not room, I'm wondering why you would have a franchise dealership that had a service department that was at a separate location 5 miles away. That's a really odd situation, and it's not great for customers. So, yeah, I mean, whoever it is anonymous. They're probably not going to answer in chat. But yeah, that's not a great situation, and you can't nest it.
Yep.
So there we go.
All right.
Next question is,
actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rules also state, and I doubt this would ever happen, by the way, but you would know better than I in this case. And that is that there's no way to have Greg's Auto Dealership and then Ben's Auto Service, which even if they're in the same location, right? Because that doesn't work for the business model, does it?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you meant with the Greg.
In other words, does the name have to be the same to do that merge? Would you ever run into a situation where the name is different?
No, because when Google first rolled out departments for car dealers, they did it in, I want to say it was 2017, maybe 2016, and they just set departments up for dealers that met some internal criteria. It was not every new car dealer. We thought at the time it was just dealers that had a certain number of vehicles on their website, so that it was a big enough dealership, but then we found really small dealerships that also had it set up. So who knows what their criteria was, but when Google first set it up, it was just called brand service and brand parts. So it would be like Greg Gifford Ford, and then the department would be Ford Service and Ford Parts.
Okay.
And that's really the way that Google wants you to name them. But if you're in a location like Dallas where there's 20 Ford dealerships all within about a 15-minute drive of each other, now if I'm looking for Ford Service or Ford Repair or Ford Parts, and you get 20 listings that all say Ford Service or Ford Parts,
that's a bad experience.
Then you have to start clicking on each one or choosing just by location and not by brand. So it makes sense to have the dealership name in there. What people don't get is you should call it brand service dash the name of the dealership. So like Ford Parts, Toyota Parts, BMW Parts, or Toyota Service, BMW Service, whatever, and then have the dealership name at the end, because Google gets confused more often than not if you have everything as Greg Gifford Ford and then Greg Gifford Ford Service, Greg Gifford Ford Parts. Sometimes the algorithm gets a little wonky, and it won't know which profile it needs to show, even though the other ones are nested. Sometimes that parts or service profile will show up as the GBP when you search just the name of the dealership. So it's better to have the naming convention be service or service department dash the name of the dealership and parts or parts department dash name of the dealership. But also, to get nerdy, since we have time,
why not?
If your dealership name is extremely long, you don't want to put the dealership name in there both times. So, like, let's say it was Greg Gifford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. You wouldn't want to say the listing is Greg Gifford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and then the service department is service department dash Greg Gifford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and then the parts department is parts department dash Greg Gifford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, because then your department listings are going to be like 10 lines of text. So in a case like that, if you are like a Stellantis dealer and you've got all those brands, or if just the name of your dealership is extremely long, in a case like that, instead of calling it service department, Greg Gifford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, I would say service dash Greg Gifford, CDJR, and name it like that, because then it's makes sense to customers and to Google, but doesn't just make it this humongous long stack of department names because your names are so long.
But is Google going to understand CDJR, what that means?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Google's usually not that intelligent. Huh. All right. Well, learn anything every day. Next question,
moving on for you, is from John Moffat. And John said that Google suspended a client's GBP, and John did not see the notice in his email. He saw it 2 days after it was suspended. Does he have any recourse other than creating a new GBP? It's a new business that doesn't have any reviews or content.
Got it. Well, John, first of all, everybody, getting that appeal email is pretty important. Just in general, maybe not in John's case, but for most, it's going to be important. So first thing I would say, if you're using Gmail, is create a filter and then create a label, 1A appeal, and which is, I'm just saying how I do it. And then I put anything that has to do with appeals directly from Google will go into that. So I can basically see it when I wake up in the morning. But beyond that, in this case, the guidance is going to be delete it, kill it, make a new one. If that one gets suspended as well, there's something going on for sure. And it's probably something to do with your verification video. So what I would say is that go ahead and try it. If it does get suspended, yeah, you're going to need to go ahead and appeal. And if that appeal fails, you're going to need to try the re-review. If that fails, you're going to have to come to the community and show us some stuff. Especially,
where are they going to have to go?
To the chopper, man.
Get to the chopper!
Everybody thank Greg, please. He went ahead and he got it. All right, show him the other one too.
Yeah, for anybody that happens to call it GMB and not GBP, you're going to get...
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's what you do. Basically, I would go ahead and kill it because it has no value. But then again, if it gets denied again, there's something else going on. All right. This one's for you. By the way, thanks everybody. We are up to 11 questions now. This one's from Danielle Rainey. All right. Let's see. I have a Google listing. Here is my address on the dashboard. Champion Self Storage, Grayson, Okay. But the address, when you view the profile as a customer, it does not show Southwest. Oh, I see what's happening here. Okay. When people get directions to the facility, they get there just fine. But if someone goes to Maps and just types the address using Southwest, it does not take them to the facility.
Danielle, can you pop into chat? My question, when you say, if someone goes to Maps and types in the address using Southwest, means they're typing in 2415 Loganville Highway Southwest, then they don't get directions there.
I'll tell you honestly, man, this sounds like a map issue.
I am confused because if I put that in there, hold on. I'm looking at both right now, both with and without in maps, and it looks like it's the same thing. Oh, that is interesting. I'm going to share my screen here. Whoops. So check this out for everyone who is live and wait, is it sharing? It didn't share. Darn it. I need to learn how to use my computer. That one.
No, really?
That. Okay. So here's what we see if we search 2415 Loganville Highway and the map pin is there for Champion Self Storage. If we look at 2415 Loganville Highway Southwest, the map pin is right there. If we look at their map pin here, the map pin is up above this Christian Brothers Automotive. So you can see on this screen right here, we see Champion Self Storage way up here, and it does not match the map pin location. And on this one, we see the beverage store, which is right by Wait, is that the same? That's not even the same.
No, it's not.
It's further up because there's that little creek and small pond, and that's way down here. That's a Google Maps weird thing for
It's
some
a map.
reason.
It's a maps issue. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that maps and GBP are actually disconnected from each other. And so if something's wrong on Google Maps, it'll be wrong on Google Maps. And if it's right on GBP, it'll be fine on GBP. How you would figure this one out, though, let's see. I mean, it's absolutely Grayson. You know, the Champion Self-Storage. No, Champion Self-Storage.
But the maps Choppa instead of the GBP Choppa?
No. I don't think so. Here's why. So the address says 2415 Loganville Highway, Grayson, Georgia. There is no Southwest in the GBP profile. Notice that?
Okay.
So there is no Southwest as far as the maps entity is concerned. And so if we just start Googling the address real quick, fine, there it is. So we Google the address at Loganville Highway with no Southwest, and you can see at this place is Champion Self Storage. So now I'm going to go up into there and I'm going to type in SW, and guess what? We get nothing. So there, in other words, in Google's eyes, the Highway Southwest exists, but there's no businesses there. So that's actually the answer.
Yeah, but how do they fix that?
If the address is actually Southwest, then you change your address to have Southwest in it. What do you mean it's on your dashboard? We would need to see a screenshot of that. Yeah, just like save it to some service and then pop in a URL.
The weird thing, though, is 2415 Loganville Highway and 2415 Loganville Highway Southwest. They're effectively the same thing, but it's dropping map pins in different locations. And the map pin on GBP not using Southwest doesn't match the map pin on maps not using Southwest.
Yeah.
So even still, the map pin doesn't match what's in maps either way.
Right, but it just might be how can I explain this? It might just be that Southwest, that's where Southwest actually is. And it's just how they split up the road, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, it's Georgia, man. So anything's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't send on here. You would have to upload it to something, or you would have to DM it to Greg or I on Twitter, or something like that, or like upload it to like Snag It, and so share it then. So Anyway, if you can do that, that's great. We can continue this conversation. But I'm going with that. I'm going with it that if you want it to be Southwest, then you're going to add Southwest to your actual address. All right. Mark has a question. Or is this one for me?
That would be for me next.
Okay. All right. So Mark's asking, curious if Yelp Connect is worthwhile premium feature for Yelp profile updates. All right.
Maybe Yelp's kind of the devil. I don't want to give Yelp any money for anything because they suck. I have not honestly ever used it, so I can't really answer. Ben, I don't know if you've used it or not to be able to answer, but
God, no.
I don't know anybody that wants to. I mean, if it's free, then like try it, see if it. I mean, test it, see if it works. Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't like Yelp. So
No, I don't like Yelp either. Even though they just sued Google.
I know, right? Of course. It's so funny. The first people to sue Google after the antitrust ruling is Yelp, who's actually worse at business practices than Google and more evil. So that's kind of funny.
Exactly.
All right. Elena has a question for you. And she says, hey, guys, a client of mine got a GBP review that I believe violates guidelines. It was left by a former employee and it tears them apart. So, of course, my client wants it taken off. I thought it would be easy, but it's been a pain. The decision was pending for weeks in the review removal tool. I appealed it a few days ago thinking it would help, and Google actually came back and said they would not remove it at all. I was hoping there could be a next step here to get this review removed. I'd also appreciate if you could look at it and tell me if you agree that it should be removed. The GBP in question, Ambrosia Treatment Center on University Boulevard in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Okay. I guess let's go take a look. And
she also wants to mention she did the whole process of requesting removal through the tool, then the appeal, and then the community post. So she's already been to the CHOPPA, but nobody answered the community post yet.
Sure. All right. Oh, God, no, this one should be removed. It's from Cody Sullivan. He has 12 reviews a month ago. All right. But he says, during my brief tenure at Ambrosia. So that is immediately admitting
all right,
the fact
right there. That
lives.
Should not be there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So the community is the way to go on this one. If you've gone ahead and appealed already and been denied, which is kind of freaking strange. Elena, please go ahead and put the community post into chat so that way we can see if anybody's picked it up. And if not, then either Greg or I can.
Did you see that photo?
No, I didn't.
The photo attached to it is brutal. Check that out.
Let's see.
Like, it should get removed for the photo alone.
I know. Well, the photo is actually not really in violation. Oh, wait, the photo is totally in violation.
This photo is really in violation, bro.
I definitely understand why they want it taken down. I'm sorry, we're laughing with you, not at you.
Yeah. So when did you is that the post that you
it's another employee. I'm sorry, this is too hilarious. Okay, this is one for the books. All right, let's see. All right, what do we got? All right, so let's see. It's 3 days ago. GBP ID is there. Good. Link to GBP is there. Good. You've got.
What are we talking about now? Did you move on already?
No. I'm looking at the community post that was made.
Oh, gotcha.
And you are correct. Nobody picked it up. Random fact. 60% of threads actually do get a product expert or somebody to answer them. All right. Anyway, now that I've got it, we will go ahead and get that taken care of for you, Elena. No guarantee it's going to get removed, by the way, but we'll try. The only thing you could do there is link to the actual review and edit that post, please. Okay. So edit the post, add. All right. Excellent. Good job. Thank you.
Wait.
Okay. What's up? All right.
I said sweet.
Okay. Good. All right. So
Okay, wait,
next
so whose
one.
question was that? That was to you, so this one's to me. I cannot keep track of it when we're live.
Yeah, I know. And it's just who cares, man. We're both answering anyway, right? So
Yeah.
all right. So this one is from Mary Reed. She has a client that's an HVAC company in Branson. They fell victim of the map pin scam where a competitor managed to move their pin to St. Louis. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a small move. In the process of trying to get it fixed, their GBP was suspended. They submitted a utility bill, city business license, and photos of their location. The appeal was denied. Any ideas what would cause it not to get reinstated?
Are we sure it was legitimate in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Because
What's the address showing?
Yeah.
It's an HVAC company. Obviously, the address was showing if it had PIN.
Yep.
So that would be my first question. Does it actually have a storefront? Yeah, everybody says they have
plenty of documentation proving that they're legit.
Everybody says that. Now I say prove it. Business license alone is not going to do it. Do they have signage? Yes, they have signage. Do they have
I also wonder why they would set up as a storefront, not a service area.
Well, I mean, so I have HVAC companies that have storefronts too, right? But they're showrooms. That's what they are. You know, so but it is a category that's very, very, very susceptible to spam. Common issues can be the name and the address don't match on your utility bills or your, the business license, etc. Sometimes they have it in their personal name.
Does it still show in search results, or is it gone from search results, Mary? Did the photos that you submitted show the permanent signage outside the building and not include any people in the photos? There's
something fishy going on. What's the address? I have a small story while we're waiting for the address. So one of my people on my team was helping this company out with a reinstatement, right? And I'm reading through the messages about this reinstatement. And my person is basically saying, yeah, but can I see signage? Yeah, but do you have an office? And all of a sudden, miraculously, they had a signage the next day, right? I finally looked at it and we were just wondering, why is this thing getting denied? And then finally, I take a look at the lease. The lease is for a $79 office.
So it's a post office box.
It's a fucking virtual office.
Yeah.
And the guy is like swearing up and down. He's like, no, it's not a virtual office. No, I pay rent, And then he goes as far as to like throw up a sign on a shared space. And so I had to give the guy a call. I'm like, dude, you are not getting reinstated. You need to move. All right. So let's see. Let's check out this address. Okay. At this address is a Southern Spray Equipment and Smart Build LLC.
I mean, this is like, I'm looking on Street View and it's just a very like
a warehouse, man.
Real park warehouse kind of thing. Like, I don't see, but I also.
This is not legit.
I don't think it's legit.
I don't think it's legit at all.
I don't see a sign for them on Street View even. Not that that usually really matters, but like if I'm on Street View and I can't see a sign, I don't know what picture you're submitting that shows a sign because I don't see signs on any of these buildings other than a couple, and none of them are HVAC repair. Street View is not the issue.
No, I want to see the pictures.
Yeah, if you can send the pictures, that would rule. Yeah, it is warehouse spaces for sure, because if you go further down the street, there's a for lease for warehouse and office space.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. This is immediately fishy. And there's already two other services.
Have a legitimate business there.
Yeah, but
but it shouldn't be it should be service area for sure.
Well, and there's also a couple other businesses there already. Southern Spray Equipment is there. Smart Build LLC is there.
Right, but if you look at Street View, like here, I'll share my screen so you see what I'm.
I saw the Street Views. Nobody's there, according to Street View.
Right, but there's like, if there's a building with 3 garage doors on it and 3 front doors, each one is a separate building. So it could be like A, B, and C. So that's not necessarily bad. How are you sending us these photos, Mary?
Google Drive. Sure, that's great. Except for the fact you need to open it up for anybody with the link actually can view it.
Yep.
So once you've made that security tweak, we'll take a look. We need a.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you can change the permissions and we'll help.
Hey Mary, if you go to that Google Drive folder and right click and click share and change the little drop down to say anyone with the link.
Okay. Well, we're going to give this. Okay.
It's good now. It is not good now.
Give us a new link, please. You got to share it again, basically. Click share and get a copy link. Well,
there we go.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Still not working. All right, I'm just gonna.
I used to love that sound.
I know, right? It was so exciting.
All right, there we go. We're in. Okay.
How are you in? I'm not in.
We're in, but we can't actually view anything. We can't do anything. It's a zip file. No. Upload individual files to the drive so we can see them. We don't need to see the zip. We need all the files exported. Okay. Well, while she's doing that, let's go ahead and move on to our next question. How's that?
Okay, here's the problem. I just downloaded the zip file. The problem is your permanent signage is not permanent signage. It looks like this. Where's my...
Let me guess, a tarp?
Yep.
Sharpie? A tarp?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tarp. Just like that.
Look at that.
That does not count.
Not permanent signage.
Yep. Then there's this one. Also a tarp.
And I would assume that the JBP name is probably Proman HVAC, blah, 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 blah.
They do have trucks. And the trucks... emergency service looks like it's photoshopped on the side of that truck. Maybe it's not, but it looks weird.
No, that's photoshopped, dude. Yeah, and it's Mark shared a little sign that's sticking in the grass, which is also not permanent signage.
Yeah, I mean, you could pull your truck up anywhere, but if it's a storefront, You've got.
No, this is just gaming the system. That's all it is.
Okay, then here's a question of ProMan 6. There's a thing from Buick GMC.
Say what?
There's a invoice for a vehicle for like they submitted a service request from a local Chevy dealership to the customer of ProMan HVAC.
Yeah, that won't work.
That's not going to work either.
What's the business license say?
I haven't gotten to that yet. Business license is ProMan HVAC and Mechanical, and it does not have a 135 Warehouse Drive, Unit 1, Branson, Missouri. So they have a business license.
Proper address?
It is the proper, well, it just says, well, the thing that you had sent to us earlier had something about Unit A, and the business license says Unit 1.
Yeah.
So that doesn't match.
To make a choice.
And then the electric bill is service address of 135 Warehouse Road, Suite 1. So you go from A to Unit 1 to Suite 1.
And that won't matter much. Unit 1 and Suite 1 are pretty much the same.
The electric bill has the correct address.
And what's the name on the electric bill?
The name on the electric bill is ProMan HVAC and Mechanical LLC. Except one thing I noticed, the business license that you submitted, ProMan is all one word. The electric bill, ProMan, is 2 words.
That should be okay. I'm more concerned about the ProMan HVAC and Mechanical. I want to know what is the actual name in Google Business Profile. Mary.
But the main thing is they're going to fail because they don't have permanent signage.
Of course, yeah. But there's I think there's multiple. Okay, so ProMan HVAC and Mechanical is what is on the GPP, so that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the verdict of like you're saying, Greg, signage is the issue. Get an actual sign, physical sign, made that can be mounted to the actual wall, not to the top as a tarp. And then yes, or like you said, go ahead and make it a service area based business. And then go ahead and appeal, basically.
You are
no problem. All right. Should we ask Max's question anyway, even though he said he found it?
Yeah, let's do it anyway.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, there's no actually question there. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Mark does have a question, though. Do you recommend embedding maps on location pages for brick and mortar locations?
Mark, if it helps your customers, then do it. If it doesn't help your customers, then don't do it. There was some buzz years ago that embedding a Google map on your site helped you rank better. Maybe that worked 10 to 15 years ago, but I don't think it matters at all now. I wouldn't do it because you're doing it for SEO purposes. I would do it because, hey, if you have a lot of customers that get confused about where you are, then do it. But also, do that many people need to pull up your website and go to your contact us page to see the map there to figure out where you are? No, they're going to map it on their phone or their car anyway. So I don't think it's necessary.
Well, I mean, come on, Greg. I mean, Google stacking is an amazing technique, isn't it? I mean, don't you do Google stacking for all of your customers?
I forget. Man, I wish I could just spout out all of the stupid terminology that the SEO hustle bros use on Instagram. I saw the funniest thing this week, though. Somebody tweeted and they were like, look, for all the SEO hustle culture guys out there, if you were really making 7 figures a year off your SEO agency, would you be selling a $100 course telling people how to get there? No.
I love it. Yeah, I was on a webinar just ripping companies like that up yesterday. And it's like, if you take that energy, that same energy, and like put it into something useful, you can get to be seven figures.
Yeah, well, and then somebody out there, like, I just got some spam email that someone has created some tool that you can upload your images through their API to your Google Business Profile, and it does not remove the EXIF data when you do it.
Sure.
And it's going to help you rank 1,000,000 times better. And it was like, bro, come on. Like, that stuff doesn't work anyway, and it's not because it strips it out. It's because, like, come on, like, so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. Okay.
All right.
So anyway, any tips for the gentleman club niche? Max, you got to be a little bit more clear about what you're asking for there, buddy.
You mean SEO tips, Max, or GBP tips, or what?
No, I think he's just asking about just the tip.
Yeah.
Sausage Party. Great
It's
movie.
like, you're going to have to, the one tip that I would say is you do need to be careful with the pictures that you post.
Yep.
Because you will likely get in trouble because the algorithm will flag it as nudity, even though, sure, technically they're not nude, but when you're wearing a piece of cloth that's like 1 inch by inch and some string, Google's going to count that as nudity, and you're going to have problems, and you will eventually, if you keep doing it, get banned from uploading images at all or get suspended or whatever. So images is going to be the hardest part about what you're doing. You were asking about event posts a minute ago, but you figured it out, so we didn't talk about it. Google Posts, same issue. Be really careful with the images side on Google Posts. I would constrict your Google post to just faces only and not full body shots, because even a scantily clad lady or man could get you in trouble. Other than the image stuff,
that's about it, man.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really about it. And also on the thing of images, be vigilant, because I can tell you this. I have a client out of Vegas. They run a bachelor party, which is same category basically in a sense. And they are constantly attacked by their competitors. Their competitors will throw up some of the strangest images onto their GBP. Anything from cop cars to kids, to literally kids, by the way.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because they want the pictures to be on there to scare away possible customers.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, it was a really weird picture too. It was like it looked like it was taken in another country. And some of them can be really, really, really difficult to get rid of. So you could have a content moderation or a content violation stupid easy. And content moderation sucks because every time you upload something for like a month or 6 months to a year, it's going to get rejected almost immediately. So
yeah. Even if it doesn't violate policy, once you violated policy enough, everything will get rejected. So
exactly. And then you'll have a really unhappy customer, by the way. Yeah. Blame it on Google, though. All right. So because it is Google's fault, actually.
So question for you from Neil.
All right.
How many Google reviews in one day will get Google's attention for possible deletion?
1.
And what changes in GBP are most likely to cause a Google suspension?
Anything. Unfortunately, those are the answers, by the way.
That really is true.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is the answers, Neil. And so when it comes to reviews, there's a lot of different types of criteria that can get them filtered. The good news is if they leave the review and you can get a screenshot of it, you can probably try and get it restored. As far as GBP goes, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything that you're going to edit is possible to cause a suspension. I've even seen, believe it or not, editing the opening date of all things. Customer just the other day asked me about this. He's like, well, how come I got suspended? He's like, I created a new profile. It was up for like, 3 days. I didn't touch it. And then I went in and changed the opening date because you can't do the opening date when you're creating the profile, which, by the way, is true. right? You should be able to change that opening date
You'd think.
immediately before verification, but you can't. And they change the opening date and bam, suspended. No reasons at all, and yeah, so it's kind of crazy. But unfortunately, the answer is that yes, anything can cause a suspension. Best thing that you can do is be prepared for a reinstatement. As you saw with the troubleshooting we just did, they were prepared for the most part, right? And so that was good. Most companies don't. As a matter of fact, only 4% of companies that I've seen that get suspended have their stuff in order. So get your stuff in order. Next one is for you, my friend.
All right.
All right. So I have a shop that was making too many edits in their GBP and it triggered a suspension. We were able to get it reinstated with pictures of the storefront and documentation, but the owner went back into the listing the next day and attempted to add products and photos. It was immediately suspended again. I know that too many edits can cause a suspension. Have you ever seen adding products and pictures as a suspension?
Refer back to the previous answer. Literally anything you do could potentially cause a suspension. And I know it sounds stupid to say that, but any of you that have been here for any significant amount of time have heard me and Ben joke about breathing on your keyboard or moving your mouse causing a suspension, and it's literally just about that bad. So I would for sure, though, if you do get suspended, maybe not jump right back in and make a whole bunch of changes the day that you get it back, and give it a little bit of time. Other than that, though, there's not much you can do. It just happens.
Yeah, exactly. Champion Self-Storage did go ahead and upload a screenshot, by the way. Definitely remove Grayson from the GPP name. All right. And we have one more question from Neil.
One more question from Neil. Neil says a business owner left a 1-star review. The owner's wife left a 1-star review about the identical issue at the husband's business. It seems to be unfair to double up on the same issue. Should her review be reported for deletion? Neil, can you clarify for us? The business owner left a 1-star review for his own business? Or the business owner?
No, I see what he's saying. So in other words, I've got Ben Fisher's underwater basket weaving, right? And you're Greg Gifford's underwater basket weaving.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave a 1-star review on your profile, and so is my imaginary wife.
But why does it say the business owner left a 1-star review? Okay, customer. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Customer left a 1-star review, and the customer's wife left a 1-star review about the identical issue.
And one should be removed at the minimum, I think.
I'm confused about the owner's wife leaving the review at the husband's business.
It's just basically like you got pissed off at Pizza Hut, okay, and you and your wife left a review at the Pizza Hut.
But if me and my wife go to a restaurant and we both have a bad experience, we're both allowed to leave a review about that bad experience.
Oh, absolutely.
So if that's what you're asking, Neil, I'm still confused because if the customer left a review, but then it says the owner's wife left a 1-star review about the identical issue at the husband's business.
We'd have to see the reviews, to be honest with you. I mean, because if it's just like, the husband leaves a review, hey, you suck. And the wife comes in and goes, my husband went there and he said it sucks. Then one of those would get removed. But if they both just say it sucks, then it's totally fine.
U.S. Alert Security ADA. I don't even know what that means, Neil.
American with Disabilities Act? I don't know. Okay. Well.
Unless Neil has something else to add really quickly, I think that is it for this week's episode.
I think so. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Well, my friend and everybody in the audience, my friends as well, thanks for coming today. I guess we're going to call it. It's a holiday weekend. Everybody gets out
Enjoy that
early.
holiday weekend, everybody. Max will be spending the holiday weekend at his new client's place of business.
Of course he will. Of course he will. Make sure you take some pictures.
At least hopefully they're not insisting on you doing all meetings at their place of business, Max.
Max might like that. Never know. Just saying. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. I got to ask a question.
He created boundaries.
Nice. There you go.
Max, you got to pop me an email. I got to hear details about this. It sounds like hilariously oogie.
I have a question. How many people are taking like 3-4 days off this weekend? It's a holiday weekend. I want to know. I'm curious.
I mean, everybody's taking 3 days off.
Well, you better be taking 3 days off.
Yeah. I'm only taking 3. I got to get back to work because I got stuff to do because then I'm gone for 2 weeks.
Shit, I'm using Monday as a catch-up day, man. Yeah, so Mark's like, nope, 0. Work for my own firm, no holidays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But hey, that's what you do when you want to succeed. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a safe holiday if you're going to be traveling. Have a safe holiday if you're not traveling.
And we will see you in 2 weeks when I will be incredibly jet lagged. So it should be a fun show that might go a little off the rails.
Hey, it'd be a lot of fun. Okay, sounds good.
See you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.